On the first time I put my pizza over there, I put the name Pizza, and then other people used to come by me and they see other places open up, and they thought that all their places were mine. They thought that my name was Pizza.
The legend of Home Run Inn began in 1923, when the winning run from a neighborhood baseball game shattered the front window of their newly purchased tavern. Mary and Vincent Grattani decided to name their establishment Home Run Inn.
Home Run Inn got its name back in the 1920s. My grandfather, grandmother, when they were operating it as a tavern, the scenario in that area was it was all prairie. So a baseball field was actually cut out right across the street from our tavern. And back at that time, if you can imagine Field of Dreams, that's pretty much what happened. Baseball players would come in and actually use Home Run Inn as their locker room. They would use it as a gathering place afterwards.
From then until the late 1940s, their business remained a small neighborhood tavern where Vincent served the drinks while Mary prepared the noon meals. In 1942, Nick Perino married Loretta Grattani. In 1947, Nick formed a partnership with his mother-in-law, Mary Grattani, and together they developed the recipe for Home Run Inn pizza as we know it today.
The business made a transformation in 1947. That was the year my father got out of World War II. He began helping my grandmother operate the tavern. They struggled. What they started looking at is what could they put in to get people to come in and drink. They developed pizza, and they actually made the pizzas and gave it away over the bar to get people to come in and drink. It was shortly after that that we made a conversion from what was then a corner tavern to a pizzeria, and it was a transformation that would lead us into where we have come today. It was a true American success story.
1947, he was released from the service. He went looking for a job and he couldn't find one. I said, why don't you go in partners with my mother? And he says, oh, I don't know, you know. Okay, so how about if we open up a pizza place in a shed? And he says, well, where are we going to get the money to start off? And I said, well, I got $25. What do you need? Well, what do you have to have for opening up a pizza place? An oven and a rolling pin. He said, well, I don't know, I don't think that would be a good thing. So I didn't say anything anymore. Maybe about a year or so later, a customer came and sat at the bar, and she said, you know, Nick, I think you ought to open up a pizza place. So he came running in the house and he said, you know, Laura, I think I'm gonna open up a pizza place. He says, I think that's a good idea. So that's what we did then. We opened up a pizza place, and it was really hard and a lot of struggling for us.
In the 1950s, they began distributing frozen pizzas in local grocery stores.
Our frozen product, I think, which is a tremendous part of Home Run Inn today, it was started manually. I can remember when we made 50 pizzas in one night, we thought, oh, this is the greatest thing that ever happened. And now they're making 500,000 and they think nothing of it. It's unbelievable to think just in my lifetime or just a few years ago, it seems like to me anyway, we were so happy in making 50 or 100 pizzas, and now they're making so many of them with so little effort compared to what we used to do.
In 1980, the Chicago restaurant expanded. In 1986, the first USDA production facility was built behind the 31st Street restaurant. In 1996, the second USDA production facility was built in Woodridge.
My dad believed in working hard, and working hard is good. The thing that we're at right now is we work smart. We utilize the knowledge that we have in the industry as well as manpower and how to utilize that manpower. What type of technology is out there to drive us and make us more consistent. I actually think we make better pizzas today than we've ever done in the past. A lot of people can make good pizzas one day or 2 days, but to make it every single day of the year, that's the difference between somebody who's very good and somebody who's okay.
The quality has never changed. Joe, all he wants to do is make sure that they're round and good, and that's the focus.
Being a family-owned business, it's just tremendous as far as the passion, the work ethic, and wanting to get that quality product, our Home Run Inn product, out to as many consumers as we can so they can experience that as well.
Probably one of the most impressive of our technological achievements at this point. We developed a system where we would use handheld computers for our sales reps who are in the field selling to individual retailers, where they're actually able to enter orders and place orders for our customers on a real-time basis.
You got to realize this is a company that came from a small tavern on the south side of Chicago, and only focus was to make a good pizza for their patrons. And now to build a plant of 40,000 square feet, it's a big endeavor.
My dad always used to say, build a house with a good foundation and it'll stand forever.
Today, Home Run Inn operates 5 restaurant locations: Chicago 31st Street, Darien, Bellwood, Addison, and Chicago Garfield Ridge, as well as a Pizza Express location at the Jewel-Osco store in Melrose Park. They also have expanded their business to include catering and banquet and party accommodations, and they are also involved in a variety of school hot lunch programs.
The hot lunch program started several years ago. We work with these schools, and again, I don't think it was an original thought on our part, but there's lots of schools, they have, a couple hundred kids in them, and they'll do a pizza day, a hot dog day, a pasta day. We fill those needs. The benefit of it has really been that we really make a connection between the teachers, the parents, and the kids. They have an association with Home Run Inn. They're comfortable with it. They know the great job we've done on a hot lunch program, and they come to our restaurant. And it's just built a great rapport between us and the community.
Home Run Inn, I think, is a good example of a neighborhood establishment. If we have something to celebrate, we're going to celebrate it with extended family and also with neighbors. And our neighbors come to the Home Run Inn because it is a neighborhood place to go, be comfortable, and enjoy.
Home Run Inn has also been a Taste of Chicago favorite for more than 10 years.
We were a sponsor of the Taste of Chicago. We were the #1 selling pizza at the Taste of Chicago. We were one of the first pizza companies to really get involved. It's a great showcase for your product. It's fun. It's a good event, and we get out there and we participate, and some of the most famous restaurants in Chicago are out there.
Home Run Inn continues to be involved with a number of charitable organizations.
Pizza is one thing that we sell, but we're far more than that. We're memories, we're helping community. So if you can touch somebody's life in a way that you would give them the opportunity to better themselves, that's one of the most powerful things a company or an individual could do.
Through the years, Home Run Inn has continued to provide not just great tasting food, but also a family atmosphere that fills not just the restaurant, but the entire Home Run Inn company.
What makes Home Run Inn so successful is 2 things. One is the family atmosphere. There's a passion for the business that comes from being small and family owned, and 2, just having the best product out on the market for a frozen pizza or the restaurant pizza. So you combine quality with work ethic and passion, and to me that can't be beat.
I believe that family businesses or businesses of our nature right now are the closest thing to what a human being can have to connect to something. Everybody wants to get up and say, I belong here, I'm part of this. I'm not the reason why Home Run Inn is successful. I'm a portion of it. We have people here who, if you cut them, they'd be bleeding Home Run Inn. That's a true passion of life. So I think the real value that Home Run Inn brings, it becomes part of someone's life. And there's nothing more important than feeling a sense of belonging to a company. And that's what I think we're able to achieve.
I've been at Home Run Inn 53 years in June, actually. I originally started at Home Run Inn when I was 16 years old. My parents lived down in the middle of the block on 31st and Kildare, the old Home Run Inn, and I used to go over and help Nick and Mary Gutani at that time with lunch and do cleanup work and so forth, and then eventually I would go on weekends and help them make the pizzas, and that's where I originally started. I think Home Run Inn is a special place for the employees, a home away from home, you might say.
I worked for a corporation. I had always done a good job for the corporation. However, there was not the warmth, the friendly atmosphere, the camaraderie that there is within a family organization. So it made it very comfortable to do a good job.
The core value of family, where you stick together and you make everyone feel appreciated, is definitely an important part of our employee culture. And I think that makes us successful because we can attract and retain good people to work for us.
I've been with Home Run Inn since July of 1969. I'll be coming up to my 35th year of service over here. My aunt started working back here in about 1953. She lived right down the street. She got my father a job here. My father, Wally, used to work with Nick Perino for 13 years. He used to be a waiter. My father died back in 1967, and Nick helped me out because Joe and I went to grammar school together in high school. And when I went to high school, my father was dying of cancer. Well, Nick Perino went over there and joined the Fathers Club for our high school, and my father couldn't make it, so he put in the money for the dues for my father. Well, my father died, and if it wasn't for Nick doing that, I received a 4-year high school scholarship from the Fathers Club. Family keeps on going on. To this day, all my family is involved with Home Run Inn. I have 3 daughters that all work with Home Run Inn. There's a lot of other people that work for Home Run Inn that it's all family involved. And it means a lot. You know, it's not every company that you can work with your family all the time, you know, to be close for the hours that you put in and still see everybody.
I think it's extremely important. Everyone here is very close. To have that family atmosphere, I think, helps everyone work in unison, and it makes us all more productive, and I think we all enjoy coming to work, and it's a great opportunity for someone to be able to work in a family business.
Home Run Inn is considered part of our family. We do know a lot of the people here because we've been coming so long, and we'll come in and ask for, you know, oh, is Rosie here, or, you know, can we see this person, or whatever. So we do consider people at Home Run Inn to be family.
As the next generation steps up to the plate to guide Home Run Inn forward, they carry with them a legacy of caring, dedication, and commitment that has been the recipe for success since 1923.
Grandpa and I, we always thought about the kids, if they were going to take over, and then gradually, one by one, they began to come in, and we were happy about it.
I started at a young age. I was started off bussing tables, working on the restaurant side. Was moved into the kitchen after that. So I pretty much learned from the start how the basics of the business.
When I was 5 years old was the first time my grandfather let me in the kitchen, and they let me shake oregano on the pizzas.
When I first started, I was a busboy, and then when I got a little older, I actually worked in the production area.
I've been working here since age 12, actually. I started really young, and I started cleaning glasses. So my dad used to come, I'd go with him late at night to the restaurants, and he'd set me out in front of the dishwasher machine for the glasses, and I'd be sitting there like putting in all the glasses while all the other workers are running around me.
I think one of the biggest differences between corporate America and a family business is the connection between top management and the employees. I think there's definitely accessibility to the employees with the owners. And I think that creates a sense of trust between the company and its people. And that's one of the biggest differences with corporate America. We are able to provide that sense of structure, that sense of stability that a lot of people are looking for.
When I got out of college, it wasn't something that I was definitely wanted to do. I was actually considering going to med school and considering going to law school. When I was young, all the jobs I did at Home Run Inn, and I was grinding cheese or making sausage or sauce or whatever, and come back to school the following year, and all my friends would be like, "What'd you do in your summer?" And I told them, and I said, "What'd you do?" And they're like, "Oh, I was in an investment banking firm, and I was at Leo Burnett doing an internship." And I was like, it doesn't seem to stack up quite as much. But some amazing things have happened just in the last several years, especially in terms of our frozen product. The growth and the business itself has become so strong. There's no place else I'd want to be. The pride in everything is there from a family standpoint. From a business aspect, though, I think there'd be a lot of people that if they were in my shoes would want to take a position here. It's that good of a company.
What I'm proud about them is it's not about money with them. They want to fulfill the legacy. So they're here because they believe in what we're doing. With that passion, they'll always strive to do what's right and to make people happy and to build a company on those principles.
Over the years, Home Run Inn has managed to keep up with the growing demand for their award-winning pizza while continuing to remain true to the original family recipe developed by Nick and Mary Grittani in 1947.
Best thing about Home Run Inn is the pizza, point blank simple. I mean, it's maintained its quality throughout the years.
My grandfather always was more of the frame of just have one good restaurant and, you know, just make a good pizza and make your living off of that. He'd be very proud of us to the degree that he never would have imagined that my uncle, my brothers, my cousins, and I would have taken the company and grown it to this level.
I meet people and I say, I work at Home Run Inn, and they're like, oh, you know, that's the greatest pizza. I love that place. And they go into memories about, you know, I met my wife there and we go there every year for our anniversary. Or people will say, you know, my baseball team and I go there after every game. It's just such a great place to go, and it really warms my heart because people love our restaurant and they love it for the memories it creates, and they love it for what we give them. And it's not just great quality pizza.
We marry 'em, we bury 'em from Home Run Inn. Right from celebrating birth to many of the milestone birthdays that are celebrated there, and it's just a comfortable place to do it.
The way they're making the pizzas, it's the same way like we started off with. It makes me feel good to see that.
My only regret that I'd have right now is I wish my dad was here to see this. He gave me the foundation, and we're laying the bricks right now, and I think the next generation will continue that building and, you know, continue his legacy.